Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, by way of Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, Jorge the Soldier Santos!
He's asking me to stay a little bit more there. I told her I wanna go. And I traveled to here. I moved to Ireland. And a few months later, she's passed away. In 1995, I saw the first time Jiu Jitsu on television. Okay, Royce Gracie was there. So he showed for the world how Jiu Jitsu was effective. And then I fell in love for that. And in 1996, I tried to go to the gym to start to learn, but it was very expensive. It's very, very expensive. So then I gave up for a while. When I start work and then I afford to pay the membership, then I joined to the club. Then I start training in 2001. I start training Jiu-Jitsu. So the club was in the city center of Porto Alegre, in my hometown, yeah, Rio Grande do Sul, south of Brazil. I work in the city center of my hometown, and then I walk in the front of this gym, then I look, then I went to the door and look, oh, BJJ, MMA, wrestling, you know, then I look there, then I saw the guys doing like a ground pound, you know, with the gloves and just short, without t-shirt, and punch each other and try to meet each other. Then okay, maybe here's my place. I was 20 years old. So I started, my professor was Fernando. Then I trained like for 1 year to him. Then I moved to my master, Antônio Guedes. Hey, can I join? Then he said, yeah, of course, come the next day. And then I come. Then they give you hard time in Brazil. They do like a welcome to you, like it's a hard time. And if you come back, you're gonna stay in the club, you know. So I have a hard time. Then the next day I come back. My master come to me and said, oh, I think you're never gonna come back here. But I come, you know. So then I start train then. First week of training, then I went to compete. And after that is just to try compete as much as I can. I spent like almost 3 years on my white belt. You know, I was very good in white belt. I learned a lot. Then I got my blue belt. All my belts I got it my master. Okay, this is for me it was very important, you know, to get all my belts at him. I know in this time now it's more commercial. Sometimes people have to travel, have to move, and then they find a gym close to home, close to work, then move. I know, but in my time when I start, it was very like a loyalty, you know. You have to start it then, you finish then, you know. And then I feel like a home there, you know. My master was treat everybody well, you know. Of course, it's a hard time. first week of training, I did my first competition. Yeah, it was very tough. Of course, I lost. But it was I was excited because I saw my friends there, you know, some guys. Some won, some lost, you know. And then when it was my time to go there, then I stepped on the mat and I'm not afraid, I'm not nervous. I just want to fight, you know. So there was my first competition, like in 1 week of training. Back in the days, like I really like Jiu Jitsu because when I was young, with my brother, we always wrestling, you know, but I never liked to punch him or kick. So I always hold him on the floor and ask him, hey, give up, come on, give up. I don't want to punch you. But he, of course, he's always want to punch me. And he's younger than me.
I met Jorge, it was when I started training back in 2007 in a gym back home. Jiu Jitsu classes was on the basement and I used to do weights on the first floor. I was doing weights for a while and then the gym had this empty space for a few good months. This guy called Geddes came to start his Jiu Jitsu club. And that's where I met Jorge. I always wanted to train, and then when I saw the guys training downstairs, I was like, why not give it a go? So after 2 or 3 weeks they were in, I made my first trip to the basement. And here I am after, it's 2007. It's been a journey, for sure. I remember when I met Jorge for the first time, he was blue belt. He was a little bit overweight, so don't tell him that. I remember my first shoulder injury was because of him. He just sat on my shoulder.
One great thing about Jiu-Jitsu, make people humble, very humble, you know. I remember when I started, I was a little bit, I think, fat. I was thinking I was like strong, but no, I was fat, you know. And then I always use strength. And then I remember a skinny guy, my colleague in Porto Alegre. He's very skinny, and he's making me tap so many times. So there I start to see things change, you know. Because I saw a skinny guy and I was feel strong, and this started to make me humble. And then I started learning from him, started asking, you know, and he's teach me a lot. Jiu-Jitsu make people humble. You can be big or strong, but if you don't have technique on Jiu-Jitsu, you're nothing.
Jorge was training 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We used to train one Saturday per month, I think, if I'm not wrong. If you know him, you know he hasn't changed a thing. Even nowadays, when you're training, he's always, you know, I always push myself to help him outside the match to clean the gym. So that's how I met Jorge for the first time. We would hang out after the training, you know, in front of the gym, just talking.
So welcome to our co-main event of the evening. Jorge Santos of Jorge Santos BJJ versus Marco Cagna of Checkmat. Being a co-main event, This is a 15-minute fight with EBI overtime rules. So if this goes the distance, it's going to be even longer than the already drawn out and long and tough fights that we've seen so far. So 15 minutes of regulation time, and we're hoping to see a lot of action within those 15 minutes.
When I was blue belt, when I got my blue belt, then I started looking for competing the worlds. And then I told to my master, okay, I wanna go to America, because they just moved to, I think in 2007, they moved the World Championship to Long Beach in America. I traveled from my seat from Porto Alegre to Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, you know, to make my visa there. So there I spent 2 days. I went there in this place, in the American Embassy. So there I bring all my documents, you know. I have my son, Xandi, Mateus. Then I brought my pictures, you know, from them. And then when I have the interview to do the visa, the girl said, hey, you gonna come back? Yeah, you go, but you're gonna come back. Yeah, of course I go. I know why you're gonna come back. Then she showed me the picture of my kids, you know, so this make me emotional, you know. So then she said, oh, come back next day, you have your visa. So the first step was done, okay, so I have the visa. So I arrived in Los Angeles. I think in Los Angeles, yeah. So you need to take a transfer to go to the hotel. And this agent said, okay, you're gonna arrive there, someone gonna wait for you. Arrived there in the airport, nobody there. Then I start get worried, you know. Nobody speaking Portuguese there. I know English. Jesus Christ, what I'm doing here? And when I come back, you know, when I go to the airplane and come back to Brazil, you know, there I understand people. So then I saw one little boy, Haifan. He's a black belt. He's tough. He's world champion. He's a good guy, you know. I saw this guy lost there as well, and then I come to him and, hey, bro. I saw he's Brazilian, you know, then we talked, and then he said, oh, I come here, but he was 17 or 16 years old, something like that, was young, you know, I don't know how he's traveled to there alone. So he was there, then we start talking, and I told, I have accommodation, he can stay to me, because he don't have accommodation, don't have nothing, just his flight and some money, you know. So then I met some guys from, I think it was Feijão from Nova União. He's the guys from Paraná, you know, from Nova União. And then they know Haifan, because Haifan was very like famous, and then the people know him, and he's from Manaus, so he's compete a lot, you know. So they know him, so we stick together. First I went there, I did the check-in, you know. I don't know how I did that, I don't remember. It's like years ago. So I don't know how I did. They put us in the room, and then they said you have like a free breakfast, you know. So then, okay, one thing less to think, you know. We have food in the morning. So then I went to the shop, then buy like noodles and some drink, you know, for eat later, you know. Then I have this meal. And then we start to go around to check, you know. Then we went to the beach, you know, to see how was Long Beach. So when I come back the next day, we went to the breakfast. Then I saw the breakfast. Okay, then I have idea. Okay, guys, let's think. Let's take some. We're gonna eat now, and we're gonna put something in the bun and then the tray, and then we're gonna bring to the room, put on the fridge, and then you have food for tonight, you know. So I thought, well, sounds good. I find some guys sleeping on the floor on the street, but then I saw them. They are competitors, like myself, don't have money, just travel and try. Then I told them, hey guys, don't sleep outside. You go to my place, you know, my place, my hotel room. They went there. They sleep on the floor, you know. 2 guys on the bed, 3 guys on the floor. And the next day, okay, one of them have a seminar. They contact some gym there and then said, oh, can do a seminar. Then they invite, okay, let's go, everybody go to there, you know. Then the guy come, the big van, and bring us to, like, I don't know how, like 1 hour from where I was, you know. So we travel, and then we spend there a night. You know, they did like a seminar, and then for sleep, then we sleep 5 guys on the mat, you know. 2 days later was the competition. Okay, the competition start. So went to the venue. I was one of the first to fight. I did my first fight, I won, and then I lost in my second. But I was very happy to make it, you know, to enter to America and then fight in the world.
Jiu-Jitsu for me is great, man. It's a place where, you know, people, you see when you know, searching for, you know, Jiu-Jitsu on the internet, you see people saying that you switch it off and it makes it's a lifestyle, and it really is. It really is. It's something that you come here and it's good for you to be around the people that training with you, because it's such a place where you can leave things outside the mat. Honestly, it helped me to get away from life outside, if that makes sense. It's training in here, especially in Jorge Santos, it makes me feel even better, because I've seen the origin of everything and how it became. And when Jorge says, you know, never give up in your dream, it's actually he's a living example of it, you know. So train for me, it's a relaxing place. Even you have people choking your neck and trying to break your arm, it's just a place where you can actually relax from the outside and just enjoy. That's how I see it.
The only problem he's got to deal with now is that foot on the bicep. That's going to, much like the hook guard in many of our previous fights, that's going to limit Marco Cagna from coming around to that opposite side. So he needs to, once he gets that grip off of his bicep, look for him to pass pretty soon afterwards. But Jorge uses that bicep really, you know, foot on bicep really effectively and gets the sweep.
Marco now battling with the grips a little bit, but
you know what? I feel that Jorge Santos, he's got a strong knee bar on here. I feel like he got a little bit overwhelmed by the speed of the attacks of Marco Cagna, and now he's looking to put on a little bit of the offensive of his own.
if Marco Cagna can pull that knee outwards, he'll take a lot of the pressure off the knee.
That's on.
Wow.
What an impressive performance by Jorge Santos. He weathers a very aggressive early storm from Marco Cagna. Marco was all over.
So when I was young, I remember my grandpa has a car, a Beetle, and it was in the garage. My grandpa wasn't there, so I was messing around, and then I don't know how I broke one headlight, and then he's come back, and I was very afraid, very scary, you know, to when he's come and see that and fight or say something to me. And I don't know, he's come and ask who's to my uncle, who's broke that. And then I just come to him and say, hey, grandpa, I broke that, and I broke it. And then he said, oh yeah, okay, get in, let's go to the shop, we're gonna buy another one. So we went to the shop, buy a new one, he's fixed. And the lesson I learned to him, to never lie to people, never hide things for the people, you know. So then from there I see my personality started, then from my grandpa. He's teaching me the lesson. This is one big thing I remember when I was young, to don't lie. It's the same I try to teach to my kids, you know. I ask you a lot of times before, say you're lying to me, you know. I give you the opportunity today, don't lie, you know.
He always wants to leave Brazil, I believe, you know, and he always wants to leave out of Jiu-Jitsu.
So when there to Portugal, it's the same thing I saw in America. It was small, but I can see the quality of the life. Before you're 30, you have to leave Brazil and move to somewhere, you know. The hard thing was say goodbye to my family. You know, it was very tough. My grandma was alive at that time.
He never experienced that ever again, you know. That was the worst I ever saw George. Not having a decent place to sleep, not having food. That's hard, you know, it's hard.
9.5 years ago, when I first met George, it was as if it was meant to be, the stars aligned. Alex de Castro, who was a member in the gym, brought this angry-looking, bald-headed Brazilian who didn't have a word of English in, and all he could do was grunt, huh, huh. And it was George.